Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to answer how to answer challenges faced in the project. So this is one of the very important questions that is asked every time when you attend interview. So in this video, we'll see about that. So let us get started without wasting much time. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. So what happens is, say, when we work in real time, we face many challenges, right? So it can be, technical challenge, it can be functional challenge, or it can be a challenge with the requirement, or it can be challenge with the environment or anything. So you can also write down the 4 points that I said. Okay. But there is always a certain process that I follow when I am telling the same answer in the interview. So I'm encouraging you guys to follow the same steps so that we do not go wrong. At least our approach to the question that is asked in the interview should always be right. So for that, what are the steps that we can follow? First step that I would encourage you is to introduce your project to the interviewer. Like say, I'm working on so and so client, or I am working with some ex client called as Citibank, and in that project, we are working on creating some dashboard, like say customer retention or a bank analysis dashboard, something like you are creating a dashboard in Citibank project. Now, in that project, identify the challenge you are facing. Okay, so like I said, challenges can be related to your environment. Challenges can be related to the you know what you call requirements. Challenges can be functional, challenges can be technical, or challenges can also be related to the uh, training. Okay, it can be anything. So we need to identify what we are going to tell or talk about in the interview. So you can write down these 5 or 6 challenges that I've just talked about. We'll also see sample examples, but just write it down so that it can help you. Next is describe the impact of that challenge. Okay, example, I will say, end user training, a very basic example. So what happens is when we create a dashboard, it is not necessary that end users are also aware of a Tableau, right? So you are creating a complicated dashboard, right? So which has all the parameters, which has all the actions embedded in that, which has all the download options, which has got all the parameters, everything incorporated in that. But if the client is unable to use that dashboard effectively, which means we are lagging in engaging that user to the dashboard. This is again one challenge that you can always talk about. Okay, this is always, or many times we face this type of situations. How are we going to uh, solve this challenge? Because we are creating dashboard so that users can use it, right? So we should increase the user engagement, right? So when a web series is being launched in any app, their intention is to increase the engagement, right? They want viewers to watch that movie. So if they are not watching it, what is happening? Movie will fail, or they will not get the views, right? Similarly, if you are creating dashboard, purpose should be that we should engage the users to see the dashboard, to use the dashboard, right? So they are coming from a very different platform where they were not using Tableau. They might be using Excel, they might be using their own custom formulas to find out the values. But now we are helping them to have a better view, have a better visualization, have a better interactivity with the dashboard. So we need to educate them. We need to teach them how to use that. How are we going to do? Create a step-by-step process, or add steps in your dashboard that can tell them how to use that dashboard effectively, or interact with them one-on-one, or schedule meetings, or give them training on how they can use dashboards effectively, from where they can download, how they can navigate to the issues, and like that. So that will definitely impact. So fourth point is explain your approach. So what was the approach you were planning for this particular challenge. Like I said, end user training. What was your approach? So I tried to reach out to multiple users, or I scheduled the meetings, or I explained how to use the dashboards. This can be your approach to solve the challenge. Provide examples. So all that we talked just about, that comes under examples. So results, how did it impacted your dashboard? Okay, so with this end user training, or with this cross functional training, the user engagement was improved by 25%, which means more and more users were now being used, or now using Tableau to see their sales on the dashboard, rather than going back to their traditional systems of calculating the values. They are now adapting to this latest change. So that is one thing that we all wanted, right? So that kind of results you can talk about in the interview. Okay, lessons learned. If there are any specific lessons that you have learned, you can always talk about that. Like say in this uh, example, we can tell that, okay, because end users were not aware of Tableau, so it is always better to have a cross training before we hand over our dashboards to them, so that end of the day they don't feel any problem. Or we can include steps in the dashboards we create as a standard practice, so that anyone who is referring dashboard will be able to use that. So okay, so that would be your conclusion, how it have helped. Okay, I hope you have written down all the important points. Okay, so this is something that I suggest you guys to have your approach when you are talking about the question in the interview. Now let us see some examples to this. Okay, so like I said, there can be many examples. I'm starting off with a very basic example: data quality and inconsistency. This is one standard challenge or problems we face as a Tableau developers. Okay, so how are we going to solve about the data inconsistency and all? So we can bring in Tableau's performance features to answer this challenge. Okay, or like I said, user adaptation and training. How are we, because of less knowledge, or because of they're coming from a traditional system where they did not use Tableau, or they are not aware of Tableau, or they are not technical guys to use Tableau. How are you going to solve? We can give trainings, we can help them understand how to see their values, we can tell them how to, from where to navigate, we can give them steps, right? Multiple data sources integration, again one common challenge that we face. So it is not mandatory that all of your data is always stored in one system. We should be, we can leverage Tableau's blending features, we can leverage Tableau's feature of bringing data from multiple data sources and creating a visualization. Okay, so this is again a challenge that we face. Okay, so how did you face, how did you problem is having data in different systems and using Tableau's features, or you have created a view on top of that, or you have included blending features to get the common data into common platform, and you have used all that. You can talk about this in multiple data sources integration. One challenge again, security and access control. So this is again one very important challenge. So it is always ensure that the report or dashboard you are creating should, if it is sensitive, should have a security control or access control. So without that, if you are trying to publish it, maybe someone who is not uh, or someone who should not be seeing that dashboard is seeing those values, that in that case you are leaking this sensitive information. So that should not happen. How did you solve this problem? So you embedded security features to the dashboard. Like you can talk about how you have incorporated a database level, or you have leveraged Tableau server to restrict the user, or you have used any of the Tableau user calculations that are available to solve this answer. So we can talk about that also in this security and access control. Next is version control and workbook management. This is one very important concept in Tableau developers life. See, there are there can be multiple team members who might be working on a project, right? So you today, maybe one case on that dashboard is assigned to you and you have worked on that. Okay, tomorrow a second ticket is coming and that is again being assigned to a different person. Now I am working on a different version, that guy is working on a different version. So that will not solve the problem, because he might not take the latest copy, and my changes will not be incorporated in him, and his changes will not be in mine. So end of the day, again you will get two defects, right? So to ensure this, what we can do, we can leverage this Tableau's server version controlling features. We can download the latest version or we can go back to the previous version. All of that can be done. So you can talk about this when asked in interview. Next is cross-functional training. Again, training is one very important part of Tableau developer. Like I said, ensure that you are giving training to the end users before you hand over your dashboards to them as a standard practice. Okay, that is very important, because sometimes you might be creating simple dashboards that will be easy to understand. Sometimes we might be creating complicated dashboards. So what my values are telling, what my filters are telling, how can I interact with them, where do I need to click to navigate to second dashboard. So all the features that you have incorporated in the dashboard, you should tell them, show them, explain them. That is when they will get to know, okay, I have to use this in this way. That is when I will be going to my detailed dashboard, or I'll be navigating to home page, or I will be able to download into PDF. All of that you can tell. Okay, so with that said, I'm ending this video. I hope you have learned something new in this video. If it does, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to give a comment. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, and have a good day.